We can fix this.
We ain't fixing shit.
Closer to you, further from me.
What did you just say?
Get your hands off
I will kill you! Stop it!
Everything you have is because of me. I made you.
You made me?
You damn right.
Getting lost in between.
My dad is dying, Erica.
So was that before or after he left your ass?
If I was you, I'd shut my mouth.
See, you finally remember where your home was. You didn't even think of picking up the phone and calling your wife? Didn't even cross your mind, huh?
I'll be getting lost in between.
His ass will be 6 feet in the ground before I let him take my business.
Is that the best you could do?
Taser!
I peg you as a stereotype.
I get why you're so hostile and mad at the world.
Kinda sucks.
Closer to you.
That's juicy. Big shout out to yes, Johnny Sizemore, Carrick Greer, Showtime Productions. As you saw, those were snippets of Complicated the Series that is currently playing on TV. And so proud of those guys and all that they're doing to bring this urban theater across the globe. So what up, everybody? Yours truly, Miss Jazzy here, along with
December Rose of Prosperity Doula. How y'all doing tonight?
We are live, and I tell you what, we've got a sizzling hot topic, Prosperity Doula, that we're going to talk about tonight. And we kicked it off last week with our ladies because we talked about everything that a woman wants in a man, but this week we're switching gears and talking about what every man wants in a woman, right? So before we really jump off into tonight's featured topic, I mean, we really got to do a recap because there's so much that transpired over the past week of, the inboxes, some dates happened, some reconciliations happened. So we're going to talk about it. So I see those numbers are climbing for those of you that are watching this live tonight, and we appreciate it. You definitely want to share the broadcast because really we feed off your energy. We feed off your comments. So we want to know that you have joined us tonight. Who we got in the comments letting us know that they chiming in tonight?
Look, we got Deidre, big sis Deidre in the house. What's happening? We got King JX. I don't know why I felt like saying it like that. King JX is in the house. All right, we of course got Stephanie Melanin Goddess, and we're gonna pull her up here in just a second. We got Stacy Blackson. What's up, Stacy? Hello. We got so many people. Listen, we want you to do a roll call. We're gonna do a roll call in a minute and call some of y'all out here a little bit. What's up, Stephanie Boyd? Hello, sis. So anyway, listen. I don't know. We really got to recap what happened last week. Yeah, or was it last week? Was that last week?
It was last week.
Y'all did not want to get off this live last week. Stephanie kept trying to get us off of here.
Yes.
She was up in here to
2 hours.
But you know what? It's a lot to talk about. Yeah. It's a lot going on, and this is important for folks. Relationships are important. Relationships are the foundation. They're the meat of life. All kinds, not just husband and wife, but your children, your job, your business, your ministry, your co-workers, whatever the case. Relationships are the meat of life. They're the thread that hold everything together. So, if we're going to take however long it take on tonight to within reason. But anyway, let's recap. Do we want to bring up Melanin Goddess? Because she's back here waiting. We want to talk to her. What's up?
What's up, gang? What's up? Welcome back, beautiful melanin queen that you are, Steph, looking so beautified in that yellow. Yes. Just an array of sunshine as you grace the platform tonight. So welcome back, sis. Of course, being our featured guest from last week as we talked about everything that a woman wants in a man. And I know you've had I'm sure some inbox folks trying to reach out to you. I know you went on a couple of dates. I mean, what you want to tell us as far as maybe what transpired that you would be willing to share since you debuted yourself on the show as being single, ready to mingle?
Well, all y'all guys know I went on a date Sunday with a really, I thought it was a wonderful uh, a companion. I thought he was going to be that one. Nice, lavish home, drove a Bentley, real put together, went out to dinner, and the first thing he talked about was his ex-wife being light skinned and she was so beautiful. And I'm looking at him at the table like, now, well, Negro, why you got me here? You saying this, what the hell you got me here? And that was like a red flag for me. And then he started talking about how he had been deprived as a man, not being touched by a woman. And I'm just really, by this time, I don't shut down, guys. These streets is rough. I have shut down. And when he started talking about he wanted to be touched, and his thing was, we're grown. Let's keep it real. When you're attracted to someone, it's best to have sex to see do y'all fit. I said, Negro, you don't lost your mind. And then he insulted me and said, your voice is not as soft as my ex-wife. Bastard, look, I was in my RuPaul voice. Nigga, please.
Wow.
So my advice is just it's really scarce out here. Don't judge a book by its cover. Even though he was driving the Bentley, had 13 acres of land, living in a lavish home. Do not be tricked by that. To me, I think I just need to be content for now, because what I experienced over the weekend is something I don't want to endure, especially when a man tells me his ex-wife was light-skinned and he never dated a dark-skinned woman. I don't understand that colorism from my brother. So that was something that I did not appreciate at all.
Look, Deidre said, "Bamba, why he ain't with his ex?" One of the things that being a brown girl, all three of us on here are brown girls. We're within a couple hues of each other,
right?
And we probably have all encountered that at some point, and that is one of the most irritating things to hear. We're going to bring our guys on here and we're going to talk about things that they have experienced and things that they're dealing with. But as a woman, that's like one of the most First of all, I don't want to hear anything about your ex unless you're talking about, what, I made some mistakes,
right,
and I've learned and I've grown. And you know what, we both contributed to it and it didn't work. Somebody who's being honest. Because the first thing, if you tell me something about your baby mama is crazy and da-da-da, if I hear crazy come out your mouth, I already know what that means. That means you was tripping and you wanted her to not trip while you was tripping. And because she tripped while you was tripping, now she crazy. So I don't want to hear that crap come out your mouth. If you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. Because if it's you and me right now, why in the hell are we even talking about your ex? Right. And then the other thing is, like I said, the brown skinned girls, anytime you're so pretty for a dark skinned girl, whatever the case, that is not a flipping compliment. That's the most ignorant ass thing you could say to a brown girl. What you're literally saying is, my stupid ass thinks whiteness is the standard of beauty. And the closer you are to white, the more beautiful you are. And the fact that you are dark plus beautiful is an anomaly to my dumb ass. Right. So, that's the stupidest thing you could say to a brown girl. And so anyway, that stuff just gets on my nerves. And then you posted something about a guy, you went to worship with the guy, and after church, he wanted to get in them drawers.
We went to church together. That was like he asked me what did I want to do. I said, well, it's Sunday. Let's go to a place of worship. The first thing he had the nerve to say was, I'll let you in my worship space. Negro, I worship in my damn car. I don't need to be in your church.
Was he trying to say that because y'all worship together, y'all needed to have sex together?
Right, immediately at the church. I'm like, bro, look, man. Come on. The first thing he started talking about at the church, not about the service, about how deprived he was. And I don't want to be across a dinner table talking to a man and you talking about how you have to release yourself. Look, bro, I do not want to hear that. So I left him. I was chewing my gum. And when I stepped away, I immediately spit my gum out on the tire of his Bentley. It was daring him to come out.
Oh my God.
So you left him at the table.
After I ordered my food, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. After I ordered my food, did not eat. Did not want to eat. I didn't want to break bread with a man of that caliber. I did not want to.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
You know.
Well, I so hate that you had that experience, Steph, but it's real. I mean, it does happen out here in these streets. So for those of you that are just chiming in, listen, this is really just a recap of what we talked about last week with our featured ladies talking about everything a woman wants in a man. So Melanin Goddess had an opportunity to go on a date, and you traveled to go see this man, not
Yes.
Barcelona.
Yes, I did travel, and not only that, another thing, I stepped out the box. Like my girl December, I dated someone. I went to on this date. He was a little older gentleman. He was 58. So I'm thinking like, okay, let me try out the little older ones. Hell, he was about just that. Look, no.
Look, some of these guys just get old. They don't mature. They don't grow. They don't nothing. They just get old.
Yeah,
And the same fool that they was at 20 is the same fool they are at 60. And it's a shame. It's a doggone shame that all you did was get old. You should have got wiser. You should have got stronger. Your emotional intelligence should have got sharper. You should have got more responsible. You should have been more keen in your hearing concerning the needs of your body and the needs of a woman's body. There's a whole bunch of things that should have happened except for you just getting older. And it's a shame.
Yeah.
A lot of men and women are out here getting older and nothing else.
And they only existing. They not even living. And for him to even just to talk about as grown-ups, the first thing you want to talk about is sex. Like, don't come to me that way. Don't come to me thinking this is how we're going to connect. Because he said, I don't think you feeling my vibe. And y'all, I forgot to put this on a post. He had a nerve to say, I'm picking up in my spirit that you've been ghost and your past is making you standoffish. I say, look at here, bro. I'm from Philadelphia. I am known of ghosting men. I'm the one do the ghosting. And he did say that I was elated that I was still there without catching a charge. So I just walked away.
Wow.
Oh.
Let me ask you this question though, Steph. So how long had you been kind of communicating with this guy before you decided you was gonna go visit him for a date?
This was like a 3-year conversation. He'd been begging and asking and begging because of his age. I would not give him a chance. I'm like, well, it's about to be the holiday. I have a long weekend. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm home alone, so why not try to, hook up and try to connect with someone who's been pursuing me per se. No, that was a bad idea. I would have stayed home and smoked a joint or something. I'm good. I'm good.
Wow. Well, I'm so sorry that happened. I can say for myself personally, y'all know I told y'all I was not in the mix, but I didn't get to go on a date this past week. So nobody's son took me anywhere. I want to go on a date.
Right. A real date.
I do. So, well, we appreciate you sharing that. I mean, Prosperity Doula, you got any updates that you might want to share between what happened last week up until this week? What you want to give us?
I'm wondering if I want. Well, I'm like wondering, do I even want to? Yeah, I'm officially off the market right now. I'm off the market.
Come on, go.
I'm officially off the market. So, listen, I have a confession to make. A gentleman that I have been talking to, that I ghosted him.
See?
But and the reason I ghosted him is gonna be so stupid to y'all, but I'm sure somebody can identify with this. I fell for him so hard it scared me, and I ghosted him.
I understand.
Can anybody identify with that? Like, he checked every single box plus, and I ghosted him. Listen, ladies, I'm just gonna say this. If you're praying, I posted on my Facebook page the other day that if you're praying for something, prepare for it. A lot of us are praying for some stuff we're really not prepared for.
Right.
Because when that thing shows up, sometimes we are not even in a position where we have the courage to accept that it's from God because of the trauma from what we've been through. And that was me. I had to apologize. I had told Steph, and I was in my feelings. I told Steph, I said, she's like, how's everything going? I said, I don't know. We're going to find out. He He was upset. I think he cried, and I was like, "Oh my God!" He said he'll think about it. Well, but he called me. He called me like, was it the next day or whatever? He just was like, "I love you." Da 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 da. We're gonna get over this. So I'm officially off the market. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're praying for something, be prepared for it to show up. Don't be asking God for something that you're not ready to pop up, because God could really send that thing for real with every single box check that you asked for, and you could look at that thing and be like, that ain't God, this nigga lying. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to say that I had to repent for that. I had to repent to God, and I had to ask for him to forgive me, because I used God to ghost him. We ain't even got time to talk about that. We ain't even got time to talk about that. How many of y'all don't use the word to justify something you did? And then God was like, I wasn't in that.
Right.
That's true.
We keeping it real on here tonight. Are we keeping it real? Is that what we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to keep it real with yourself. If you're praying and not preparing, that is a petition without purpose. Let me say that one more time. If you are praying and not preparing, that is a petition you are making to God that is empty, void, and without purpose. Right. I told you I love Jesus, but I cuss a little bit. Now, if you get pregnant with something, if you get pregnant with the child, all y'all mothers that I hear, you know what I'm saying? You start preparing. You start going to prenatal appointments. You start getting checkups. You start changing how you eat. You start taking prenatal vitamins. You start lifting heavy things and doing strenuous things because of what you're carrying on the inside of you, because you're preparing for something that's about to enter the earth that you're going to have to take care of. And some of y'all are praying to God for a kind, a type, a level, and a measure of love that you are neither prepared to sustain, or maintain. Okay. So if you are praying, you better be preparing, or else that's just praying amiss. Y'all hear what I'm saying now? Now, how y'all doing on the night?
Okay, now I want to plug something. So for those of you that are watching, this is Live After Dark with yours truly, Miss Jazzy, and the Prosperity Doula. And we're just doing a recap from the ladies last week when we talked about everything that a woman wants. And Stephanie messed around with some foolery on the date where she done had to walk off on the date after traveling to go see this man. She done went to church with him and all that, and he wanted to have sex.
On the first day.
And it's real though, because it happens. Not only you, I promise you, you're not the only one. It's somebody that's within this feed alive right now that can say you probably went on a first date with someone, or after having someone to pursue you or be persistent, and then it turns out that that's kind of like what they insinuated all they wanted too, right? And then Prosperity Doula messed around and made us
got off the market.
He is off the market. But one thing that we talked about kind of offline was that you almost let the influence of others make you make a decision too. So you want to chat about that a little bit? Because, I can say that I've probably been guilty on that aspect as well, that, trying to get to know someone and then someone else's opinion or encounter of this guy may have made me kind of like, maybe not, versus getting to know him for myself. What you think about that?
Okay, don't everybody go at once. I think you got to know someone for yourself. Someone else's experience with the person is not your experience. Someone else's experience with the situation is not your situation. Even though I have love and respect for Steph, for Stephanie, for Tiffany, for everyone up here, a person you have never met, encountered, had any kind of dealing with deserves the benefit of the doubt. It deserves not to be tainted with their experience with someone else, with what he said, she said, with what someone, you know what I'm saying? And so you have to be prepared to hear. You don't have to ignore what people are saying, but you don't have to entertain it either.
Exactly.
I'll catch that, okay? You don't have to ignore what folks are saying, but you don't have to entertain it either. And what I say is this: keep your spiritual antennas up. Because if you are anywhere in the Lord, your Holy Spirit will get a tangle about somebody and the foolery. Okay? Understand that Holy Spirit will tap your shoulder and be like,
Exactly.
you know? And then sometimes the Holy Spirit will give you that green light and you be like, nope, it ain't right. Like I did. But listen, people deserve the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm one of those folks who, until you cross me,
right.
I'm not going to accept what everybody else is saying about you, because I've been there where folks have said things about me that were not true. And someone had to come back and say, you know what? I didn't know if I liked you or not because so-and-so this and so-and-so that. Well, I don't know who so-and-so is, but until you talk to me personally or have a relationship with me personally, you don't know me.
Right.
Okay. And
well, that is absolutely true. And you know, one thing that for those of you that are rocking with us in the comments, thank y'all for showing up for us. I see Lula talking about now, because I just, especially for you, Steph, Melanin Goddess, because you know that experience with him, I hope that don't taint the other possibilities and opportunities that are out there. So I know right now you probably be like, I'm just content right now. I don't know what these jokers are. But how you really feeling in your mind? I mean, you trying to take a break? Are you willing to take another date this week? What's up?
Of course. First of all, it's okay because the things that I checked in my box and asked God for, it was in front of me. But see, it's some things I just won't tolerate. I can't tolerate someone disrespecting me about the color of my skin or the way my voice sounds, or because I'm not his ex-wife. That right there, I don't give a damn who sent them. I don't want you. I ain't gonna worry about the Lord ghosting you. I'm gonna ghost you because I feel like if you don't see me for who I am, therefore I don't need to be in your presence. And then he tried to tell me, I'm gonna try to teach you how to vibe with me. Negro, how you gonna teach me how to vibe with you? And you can't teach me how to vibe with you. So I'm not really like pushed off about dating. Hell, I'm free to go on a date this weekend. I'm free. I mean, I love dating. I love going out to eat, and I love getting to know people. But I'm off the market of first having sex on the first date. I'm off the market on that. Now the nigga should have found me when I was in my 20s, and I would have gave him some. But nah.
Well, listen, how can people reach out to you again? How can they connect with you? Because again, we want to be able to say through this platform that you may meet someone else that can really, you know, vibe well with you, or, you know, you have a great dating experience. How can people connect with you?
Y'all can inbox me, but soon you put the GM and WYD, I'm going to block you. If you cannot put the whole word, good morning, how are you? If you cannot do that, just keep on strolling. They can inbox me, but come correct. I am 53 years old. The youngest I will go is 46. The oldest I will go is 55. And I'm sticking to that range right there. So they can inbox me.
All right. Well, look, she put it out there. So, fellas, if y'all not about them games, if you're not trying to have sex on the first night, she already let you know she ain't about that life. Y'all hit her up and let her know you found out about her right here with yours truly, Miss Jazzy, and the Prosperity Doula, as we are live after dark. Thank you for the recap, sis. We appreciate you. We have our other sister from another mother that we're about to bring up right now, because she also is single. I guess she ready to mingle, right? Miss Tiffany Lachey. We want to take an opportunity to welcome her to the live tonight. Hey, I didn't get the memo about the yellow tonight. What's really going on? I get the memo. You look absolutely doll babyish. Welcome to the live, beautiful.
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate that. You know what? You got on black. It's classic. It go with everything. So you did great.
So listen, we're trying to recap from last week. Can you give us an update? Anything exciting happened? You know, did you get any inboxes? You take any dates? What's going on, huh?
You know, I don't just put my stuff out there like that. So I'm just, you know, if I did, I would probably tell you behind the scenes. But yeah, I mean, not really. I'm still on the same boat as I was. I'm still on the same boat as I was last time we talked. You know, like I said to y'all before, you remember that Stephanie? When I say Stephanie now, I'm talking to like Stephanie the melanin. Hey girl, hey Lula. But I don't get those. And if I do, I don't really pay attention to them. But I haven't gotten any inboxes or anything like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm not really searching for it, to be honest with you. So where I'm at is is, like I said last week, I personally, I'm kind of old school. I like things really organic. So I believe that when it is my time, the right one is going to find me and find me at a gas station somewhere without an eyelash on, without a, right now I got on my ball cap because I done took my braids out. I had braids last time, y'all. And or just somewhere random. I'm not really an online dater. I've never been, so I don't even know what that dynamic looks like.
Right.
Because, and for some people, I know so many people that online really works, and they've got married through that. But as for me, I need to know who I'm dealing with. Like, if I'm just one of your feeds, I'm just one of your chats. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for it organically, Steph. So nothing exciting my way. What I will say though is that in my singleness this past week, I have been a lot more productive. I've gotten a lot of things. Thank you, I know, Lula, but I've got a lot of been very productive. Got a lot of things done with business, and to be quite honest with you, I think that I'm going to meet the man that is for me somewhere in that business realm, because that's where I love and I live, and that's where I would want us to be able to partner and do things together too. So I don't know, or it could be random and organic at Walmart.
All right, well, let's put it.
I'm around the way, girl. Now I know y'all, my pictures and everything is fly. That's great too. But I am genuinely who I am, and hopefully it'll happen.
Okay, well, let's put it out there again. Let's give a recap of the type of man that you're looking for. What are the criteria, some deal breakers that if you wanted to put it out there right now, you're single, ready to mingle, you're looking for your ideal of the man that could maybe be your man. How do you describe him?
Well, first and foremost, I describe him as a man of faith, because I wouldn't want to be unequally yoked in that way. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not looking to be a first lady or anything like that. If it happens, then it does. But I need him to be a man of faith. I need him to be a man of integrity. Like, I need just an honest guy. And I need somebody that is that communicates well. And when I say that, meaning that it may not have to be to the world, but between him and I, we have to have a great line of communication. Period. Everything else, no. I need to laugh. I don't need nobody super serious, like maybe to the world, but like with me, I gotta laugh. I believe in live, love, and laugh. I mean, that's really kind of how I live, and so I need somebody who can do that with me. I like to travel and everything too. I just, I'm not playing no games, so that's why I'm single right now, and I'm comfortable with that, because he has to be confident, especially to date a woman like me. I'm social. I'm a public figure. I'm confident, and I'm about my business. I just, that's what I do, and I don't have time for games. And as soon as I spot it out, I'm gonna call it out, and then I'm gonna go from there. But so I encourage everybody out there, like, if you are single or if you are in a relationship, like, you don't have to put up with it, and the thing is, and this is where I'm at now, I'm finally getting here, because as women, we say we're so outnumbered, right? It's so many of us to them, which is sort of true, because again, like we talked about last week, a lot of our men are in prison, or they're killing each other, or police killing them, or somebody, what I mean? Like, it's happening to a lot of our men, which gives them the option to be able to have this one here, this one there, or to be able to come on a date and talk about their ex as if they're not even on a date. Like, where they do that at? You know what I mean? So, but still in that, there is somebody out there for me.
Yeah.
And that will be all mine. And that will communicate with me. And that will love me properly. And so that when I love them the way I love, because I love hard, and I want to be just as romantic and treat a man. I want to pour out the love that's in me. I want my man to be able to come, my husband, to be able to come home, and I have rose petals leading up to the bed and a heart, and have a nice dinner and have light. I would like to do that as well, but I need for that to be reciprocated. I don't want to be the one that's always giving and not receiving. So that man is out there for me because I'm the package. You know, we should all feel like that. I'm the package. You know, and I'm mature enough and confident enough in who I am at this point in life to be patient, because I know a lot of people. I call it fake book and you know and Insta slam. Like, people, you see relationships, but they're not real relationships. They're snapshots, mostly staged. Hey baby, smile. Hey baby, smile. You know, it's not real. And the moment the picture's gone, they cussing and fussing. They, you know, maybe mentally or emotionally abusing one another or one in the relationship physically. And so I just want it organic. And if it's not, have a good day.
Right.
Have a good day. And I think, you know, and I'm guilty of settling just recently, like I talked about last week. I was recently in a relationship where I settled. The beginning was good, but all the red flags were there. And I was enjoying just feeling like I had a partner. But really, it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for me emotionally. It wasn't good for me mentally. It wasn't good for me in every way. But here's the God thing. God removed him. You know, well, I was going to do that. I already started.
Oh, he will.
With the way I was backing off, because it's not healthy. And I am a mom. Lots of women my age are. But my daughter happens to still be 10 years old and impressionable, you know, and again, this is not a game, because this is not only my life, this is her life too. And I think that as mature women who do have children, single moms, we have to be very conscious of who we bring around our children, because again, it not only affects our life, but it affects their life as well. So, and you know what? It does get lonely sometimes. Okay, I mean, nobody's gonna sit here and act like that doesn't. When you see a movie and you see certain parts of the movie, like, oh, you know what I mean? Or you know, you're around different friends and they have husbands. You know, we got Ronan Neely and Tim Neely coming on. You ain't gonna see one without the other. You know, and you see those relationships. And we as humans, we're meant to be with a mate. We're meant to be with a partner. That's how God made it. So of course we're gonna want that, but my honest, sincere word would be, do not settle, because like one of my friends told me, you are worth so much more. I am worth so much more. And you know what? My daughter, who's looking at me to be the example and looking at me to see how somebody's supposed to treat her, that's more important than me settling for a piece of something.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like a piece of man is better than no. The right man for me, that's what I will embrace. I am not gonna settle. So I encourage you not to do the same. That was a lot.
Listen, how can people get in touch with you if they are interested? And listen, I heard you say many times, I'm traditional, I don't do social media. That's the age we live in. If there's a man that's living in one state over or something, he's not finna bumping you at Walmart. How can a man get in touch with you if he's interested?
But he may very well bump into me at Walmart or the gas station or anywhere else. But just like anything else, y'all got my name blasted right there. It's Tiffany Lachey.
Right.
It ain't hard to get in touch with somebody. If a man wants you, he'll find you. Just like if we want somebody, we know how to go and find somebody. We can find all their pages and everything else. So I mean, look, I'm not here to market myself. So so I'm sorry, that's not where I'm at. But if you want to find me, find me. You know.
You said holler back, y'all. Holler.
If you do find me though, please talk to me like a lady. I am a lady. Right. And if you don't come at first impression is the last impression. So if you come at if a person is going to approach me and they don't approach me the right way, we will not move past that step.
Not.
All right.
I won't respond.
Yeah.
All righty then. Well, ladies, thank you so much for the recap of being our featured guest for everything that a woman wants. You never know. I can't wait to hear maybe what this week.
Who said that? Was that you?
I don't know. I don't know who said that.
Was that you?
Look,
who is that?
That
it's
wasn't
that
me.
Facebook user.
I don't know who that is.
I don't believe it. Okay, you're absolutely right. You do. I do actually have to leave the house. So I will say that to those out there too. And just a little bit about me. Okay, I'm gonna go there. I am actually starting to do more things outside of my child and my businesses and being at home, well, being not visible. My good friend Miss Jazzy and
that's Javion. Javion said that.
No, she did not. That was not
What's
Javion.
up, Javi? What's up? Nina, you can't sit at the house thinking he about to knock on your door.
So Miss Jazzy and I went downtown. We went out, and as a matter of fact, speaking of my good friend, my girl Javion, I love you. She invited me to go out of town, so I'm gonna go. I'm getting out. Thank you for my good friends who love me. I'm ready. Let's go.
But wait, we went downtown and we was looking around. I said, ain't no single men out here though. Where they at? We was down there with nobody available that was eligible for single ladies.
Yeah,
so where do you go? Javion, you got you
right.
Where do you go, Javion? Because you got you one, honey. You got you a good one. Y'all, where do you go? Prosperity Doula, Stephanie, the Melanin.
I travel. I travel the world. I travel the world because I don't discriminate with men. I date intentionally because I know who I am, and dope sells itself. So like yourself, I don't have to sell myself because dope sells itself. So that's why I travel the world. When I go to Puerto Rico, they eat me up. When I go to Argentina, they eat me up. When I go to Jamaica, they eat me up. So I date intentionally because I know what I want. I know how I want it. But also I know that God will, like you said, God will send the right person to you. And you just have to be, you just have to be in that vein to really listen to what the Spirit is saying. There's a lot of women, I'm 53, there's a lot of women, they just want to be in a relationship just to say, I'm in a relationship. Not me. Let me tell you, I sleep good by myself. I can eat well by myself. I travel by myself. I roll by myself. So I'm good. I'm content. I'm intentional who I let in my space. So that's where I'm at.
Listen, y'all know we could talk till tomorrow. We got to get these fellas on here. So ladies,
people are engaged with us though, Steph. Like, we in this thing now. I just got here. I'm about to be quiet, but I'm just saying.
All right. Well, listen.
I want to answer it though, Steph. She told me I need to get out of Greenville. But here's the thing, and maybe y'all can give me some feedback. I'm a single parent. My daughter is 10 years old, fresh new to middle school. We got homework during the week. We got grades, and I'm not letting nobody else raise my child. Right. I'm not gonna put my child off on nobody just so I can go out to be visible to somebody and get it time. And before I know it, she's 16, and I'm trying to figure out what happened because I was out trying to be seen. So that's why I say it may have to just be something organic right now because the season I'm in, my baby's sitting. Come here, she right here, right, and she needs to be going to bed in a second. But
look, she need to go to bed right now because it's really getting ready to get juicy. Good night.
We got
good night, Doula.
I'm making sure her homework is done, even though I'm sitting on this live because I'm multitasking, making sure she's getting that homework done. So for me, maybe it's the season, but I have to be present for her. Yeah. And I'm not saying live and all that because I'm willing. I'm willing. She's at an age now where I'm good. On the weekends, Miss Jazzy, Doula, Stephanie Melanin, Javion Woods. Get me? Where we going? Okay.
I'm down.
All right. Single, ready to mingle, ladies. We appreciate you so much for joining us again, giving us a recap of what's happened over this past week out here in these streets. But this is truly yours truly, Miss Jazzy, along with the Prosperity Doula, live after dark. As we are prepping our way for our fellas, I think we got a little commercial we're going to throw up here on the screens, and we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we got some single eligible fellas that's going to talk about what a man really wants in a woman.
Hey, are you going to with the men? Come on.
What?
Are we gonna be on here when the men come on too?
No, well,
Not
we
yet.
might bring you back later.
Well, how you gonna be on here trying to market me and everything? Then you got single men coming.
You gotta be listening because it might be some ladies in the comment on the feed that's trying to get a chance too. So we're gonna let these fellas shine. It's all about them tonight. Everything a man wants. Y'all gonna be listening to have an ear to hear so you can apply that to your upcoming.
Listen, we want to give a shout out to some local producers in the upstate. And so look, y'all need to check out Complicated, this series on Tubi. When we come back, it's gonna be the fellas' turn. Thank you, Tiffany, Dashe. Thank you, Melanin Goddess. Okay, y'all jump on over here in the comments and be part of the show. Okay, and Bella need to go to bed because it's about to get juicy. Good night, Bella.
Okay.
All right.
Good night.
We can fix this.
We ain't fixing shit.
Closer to you, further from me.
What did you just say?
Get your hands off
I
him!
will kill you.
Stop it!
Everything you have is because of me. I made you.
You made me?
You damn right.
Getting lost in between.
My dad is dying, Erica.
So was that before or after he left your ass?
If I was you, I'd shut my mouth.
See, you finally remembered where your home was. You didn't even think of picking up the phone and calling your wife? Didn't even cross your mind, huh?
I'll be getting lost in between.
His ass will be 6 feet in the ground before I let him take my business.
Is that the best you can do?
Taser! Taser!
They peg you as a stereotype.
I get why you're so hostile and mad at the world. Kinda sucks.
Closer to you.
Yes, well, you know, it can be complicated sometimes. So we just want to take an opportunity to say to all of you, welcome to the live tonight. Now we are what we're here tonight for, and that's to really get the male perspective, talk to some single eligible bachelors tonight. And I'm going to let you guys really introduce yourself, tell us who you are. Y'all know what to do. We're going to come on by way of Miami and let our brother Keith come on through the line and let everybody know who he is. Come on through, brother.
All right. I appreciate y'all for having me on. I thank you so much. I ain't gonna even say nothing yet. I'm gonna let that happen. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all moment.
Okay.
What do you mean? This is your turn, brother.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna let that slide until later. My name is Keith Liddell. Yeah, I'm originally out of Dallas, but I live in Miami now, and I'm a carpenter. I'm a business owner of 2 different businesses, so I got 3 businesses altogether. I do investments. I just have fun. I love life, and I just, I'm really looking for something that's real in life. That's all. I don't want none of that play stuff. Don't be giving me Facebook or Instagram. I don't want it.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to toss it on over to the brother with the smooth hat on. We call him GT around here in the upstate. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know who you are, what you do, to kind of understand who you are as an eligible bachelor as well.
All right. First, I want to say thank y'all for letting me be a part of this. I'm GT Gartrell. I'm originally from Greenville, South Carolina. A little bit about me. I'm an actor, so you might see me in some stage plays. You might see me in some movies. I got one movie out called 17 Days on Amazon Prime now, so check it out. So one of the things I can say is just listening to everything that has been said thus far. This is kind of interesting because I do a podcast as well. So I'm with a group of guys. My podcast is called VMO, Voice of My Opinion, and we do our podcast, and it's actually broadcasted on iHeartRadio and Apple Music Thursday night at 9:00. So we kind of talk about some of these same topics as well. But I want to touch on a couple of things. I'm gonna be short and to the point, but going back to what y'all said about a guy, talking about his ex, and that's a turnoff. That's kind of like, a double standard sometimes, the way I look at it now, because I'm gonna use myself as an example. So women want us to be honest up front. They don't want us to hide nothing. Y'all want us to tell y'all everything up front. Y'all want us to be real with y'all. So when we are real with y'all, y'all don't want to hit it. So if we be real with y'all and tell y'all about some of the trauma that we've been through, we telling y'all that because we're letting you know, this is what I went through. This is what I don't like. This is a trigger. Please don't do this. But if I don't tell you stuff that I don't like and you do it, and I'm sitting there looking at you sideways like, okay, I'm about to cuss your ass out. But I'm giving you pre-warning. This is why I'm telling you this now, so I won't cuss you out, because this is something I don't like. So like I said, I'm gonna use myself as an example. So somebody that I was talking to, I was telling her about my last relationship. Terrible relationship. It started out good, but I didn't know none of her triggers, none of her traumas. See, you can put that facade on in the very beginning, like you laid back, you calm, collective, and everything's perfect in the beginning, until something happens that triggered something that you experienced in your past that you never dealt with. Now, us as Black people, we don't like to go talk to a therapist because we don't think ain't nothing wrong with us. So I done learned over time that therapy is good and it's therapeutic. You can get some stuff out, but if you're not talking to a therapist, who are you talking to? So, for instance, Miss Jazzy, if I'm talking to you, telling you, okay, I dated somebody and she was a narcissist, she did this and she did that, and you like, why is he sitting here talking about his ex-girlfriend? I don't want to hear nothing about that. Right. I got to get that out, because if I don't talk to somebody, it's built up. That might be built up anger, and I don't want to take that out on you when you do something that reminds me of her. I got to get that out in the open to let you know, hey, I went through this. So I'm just being upfront with you. Because my last girlfriend didn't tell me about her insecurity issues and her jealousy issues that started when she was 8 years old. She been through something in her childhood that she never recovered from, and something triggered that. She took everything out on me like I was the bad guy. So I'm like, where's all this coming from? So I saw red flags, but just like y'all said, you see the red flags, but you settle a little bit and you want to have a good relationship, and you be like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll leave that alone. And brush it under the rug. But you can't brush that under the rug. You got to know what those triggers are, because we ain't gonna be out in public and you just gonna spaz out on me in front of everybody and make me look crazy. I'm not going for that.
I feel you on that. Now you're saying a key word that even I use, and that's trigger. But I think for me personally, through counsel, I've kind of matured to a space now that I can talk through triggers. Before, I believe I handled triggers like I was a runner. I would run.
You're a track star.
It was more like, if you did something or said something that kind of triggered me, I'm out. I ain't even dealing with it. But now I'm to a point though I can talk about it. So I know, Keith, you also have a podcast called A Man Cave where y'all get together. So we're talking about, what a man really wants in a woman. So y'all know I did a poll too with the fellas, and I'm gonna give you the top 3, but I do want to run down some of the responses that were given, and it was appreciation, communication, consistency. Somebody said food.
Hey.
Grace to grow. Someone mentioned that they would love for the woman to have the hustle in them, the honesty, to listen, love, loyalty, the mindset. Now, because we've been talking about this just a little bit there, when he mentioned the mindset, he said, not all men are the same, ladies, so don't put them in that box. And they don't want to hear all about your past traumas, okay? Monogamous, peace, and patience. So the top answer was loyalty, and then it was peace, and then it was communication.
No,
so
peace should be number one.
about that?
Peace should need to be number one.
Yeah.
Because if ain't no peace in the house, it's just turmoil and chaos. And if I'm at work all day and I know I got to come home to some chaos, then I'm gonna stay out all day. I ain't gonna come home until late at night when you in bed asleep, because I don't want to argue with you for nothing. But
what about
I do want to touch on a couple of other things too. So what was said by Miss Stephanie, Miss Melanin earlier about the sex talk on the first date. Come on, ladies. Y'all know good and well. Y'all think about it too. Y'all just don't act on it and y'all don't say nothing about it because y'all know in the first 5 minutes if y'all want to sleep with that brother or not because y'all looking at our imprint trying to see what the size is, but y'all don't want to say nothing. But then when we talk about it, we get bad guys when we talk about, oh, this nigga wants sex. That's all he thinking about. But if you wearing a tight outfit showing your curves and your body, what you expect from us? Because we're going to be looking at you. We are some visual creatures. The visualness is what turns us on. Your mind and your personality can turn us on too, but we look at how you look.
I want to say something.
Don't look. I may not say nothing sexual, but I'm thinking it.
Look, I want to respond to that. I want to respond to that. First of all, good evening, fellas. Thank you so much for coming onto the show tonight. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting sex. I don't think there's anything wrong with being attracted because God made us that way. God made us to be attracted to each other. So I don't think it's a problem with that. But I think when you lead off with that, like if you don't have the discipline to have a conversation with me before you jump into the bed with me out your mouth, that's a turn off. And I don't think it's wrong for a woman to say you need to start somewhere else. It doesn't matter if you taking me out. First of all, the reason why you asked me to come out is because you were attracted to me in the first place. Yeah. We could check that box, okay? Right. If you didn't see yourself somewhere intimate with me in your future, you wouldn't have asked me out anyway. So we could check that box. If I didn't think I would see myself somewhere intimate with you in my future, I wouldn't have said yes. So we could check that box. But if we sit down to break bread together and our whole conversation consists of what you need in the bedroom, I'm done with you because your intelligence is zero if that's where you got to start with me. If you can't even build up to it as in a conversation with me, at least. I don't want you to sit down and tell me how long your dick is or nothing like that. I want the ladies, if you ever had a man to do that, I want you to post it. And I had a preacher do that. A preacher did that to me. If you ever had that happen to you, I want you to look. I don't give a good goddamn how long it is. Some of y'all don't know what to do with the damn thing. And as far as I'm concerned, if you feel like you got to talk about it so much, you don't know what the hell you're doing anyway. Because the ones that got it and know what to do with it, they don't talk about it. They be about it. That's what I'm gonna say on that. So if you can't sit down and have a conversation, your emotional intelligence is low. And I'm not obligated to have a sit down, eat, and we talk about sex the whole time. What else do you have to talk about?
Miss December, let me jump in here right quick.
Yes, sir.
Now, what the thing is with that guy, he didn't know how to handle himself, just like you said. But if a guy and a woman do love if a guy and a woman are attracted to each other, the conversation is going to be some secret little hints. It's gonna be like, hey, I see you over there in your dress, you know what I'm saying? And that's gonna trigger her mind, like, oh, he's paying attention. So if a man comes out, oh yeah, give me some pussy, it's like, nah, dude, you got me messed up. Yeah. And I feel that from y'all, you know what I'm saying? Me, I got 3 sisters, I'm the only boy, so I already know how these women think. My mama, she was single for a while, but and she stayed married for 38 years, matter of fact, before she passed. But everybody say, oh, I'm not like them. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men do say that because no man wants to feel like he's like another man. So that's why y'all hear that a lot. You're gonna hear that a lot from men anyway. Oh, I ain't like these other dudes. Because we're not listening to what another guy says. Women, y'all collaborate. Girl, let me tell you what this. Y'all team huddle. Let me say, y'all got a team huddle going on after each session. Girl, let me tell you what this dude told me. Let me explain to you what he said. And see, men, we can't come. That's why I created the Man Cast. So we can come together and start understanding how we think together. But a lot of men, we don't want to collaborate and be like, say, bro, let me tell you what she did. Now you feel like, men feel like we weak when we start explaining. So that's why we don't pull together as we should. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a different breed. I compliment a man. I came from the old school. I compliment, say, GT, nice outfit, bro. You got that hat working with the shirt. I like that. You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing. Me, I come from the old school. I'm going to compliment another guy and let him know, say, you doing what you're supposed to.
Right.
So when we you know, a lot of new age guys, they feel like I gotta be macho. So that's why y'all getting what y'all get, because they're not being men in that facet of life of like, hey man, let me go ahead and be honest with this woman. I do want sex from you, but let's not talk about sex right now.
Yeah, listen.
It's
And
always a way to say it.
honest, if women are honest, they want it just as much, if not even more than you. Okay,
that is true.
All the ladies, we gonna keep it real. You all know we keep it real on this show. They want it just as much as you, and they probably undressing you at the table too. They in bed with you before the entree come out too. That's the real deal. But you gotta have that emotional discipline. You gotta have that discipline to pace yourself. And men and women who are mature can pace themselves toward intimacy. Understand what I'm saying? You gotta have that discipline to pace yourself toward that, because the women want it just as much as you do. But it's an instant turnoff if you just go straight there, even if I want it. Because guess what? I still want to be treated like a lady all the way up to the bedroom. I still want to be treated. I still want to be wine and dine or whatever they call it. I still want to be shown respect, right? I think. And let me tell you this: would it turn you on? Some men, this would turn them on. So we gonna put them over here in the corner. But most men would not be turned on by a woman rolling up and grabbing her privates, talking about, "Oh, I can't wait to get in bed with you." But there's some ghetto ratchet Negroes that love that kind of ratchosity. But for most men, they're not feeling a woman walking up on them like that. Understand? Even if that's what she wants. And it's the same thing for a woman. We want it just as much as you do. Okay, we was thinking about B from the time we told you was going on the date with you.
Me.
I know to go about it.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. Yeah, I'm 6'6", tall, dark, and handsome. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm all that. Yeah, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm all that, baby. And a bag of chips. Let me get the clip so I can stick it on my face.
Chips and the dip, okay? So here's my question, guys. So now this is something we kind of talked about last week. Do you really feel the pressure of it being like 10 women to one man? Like, do you really feel the quantity of women that are coming toward you versus the amount of men that there may be that's spread out for the ladies?
Is that a real thing?
Because for one thing, just being out in public and just looking at everything, it's very scarce to see masculine men now, because you see all these men that's out here trying to compete with women, trying to look better than y'all, trying to dress up and look pretty, and ain't no masculine men out there. Now, the old school guys like me and this brother right here, Keith, we old school, so we ain't gonna try to outdo no female. We gonna keep it real. But these men out here now ain't real men. So it's hard for y'all to really pick and choose, because these guys out here want other guys. They don't want y'all. They want other guys. So just keeping that real. That's it's what's going on nowadays.
That's true.
Look, and if they don't want another guy, they're still competing with you. I think the worst thing is when you're attracted to somebody and intimidated or insecure about them at the same time. That is just the worst thing. You're going to be with somebody and be competing with them at the same time. That is just, I can't stand that. Right. And that's one of those things, like I said, there's a lot of men out here who don't want to fool with the women in the first place. And then there's a lot of men out here who don't see us as a partner. They see us as competition. And that's a shame, because we're your partner. You know what I'm saying? I watched a video by Dr. Miles Monroe. Love Dr. Miles Monroe. And he was preaching at a men's conference. And he was talking about how educated his wife was and this and that, and how she had all these gifts and these talents. And he was saying, most of y'all be intimidated by that. God gave her those tools for you, dummy. That's what he said. She's coming. You're offended by the equipment, and the equipment is for you. She's equipped for you. He said, so he hired his wife. He said if she could go out here in the corporate world and make all this money for all these other folks, she could work for him. He hired his wife. And so I think a lot of men, not all of them, there's a lot of men that want a driven woman. There's a lot of men that want an ambitious woman. There's a lot of men that want a woman that's about her business. But here's the thing, ladies. Now, this is for the ladies, and I'm going to play a video, but we want to get you and Keith's comments on this. A lot of those ladies, and y'all do not jump down my throat for telling the truth, okay? But a lot of us ladies who are driven, who are ambitious and about our business also are very lacking in the femininity area. Am I telling the truth, gentlemen?
Yes,
well,
ma'am. Let me touch on that right
We
quick.
don't know how.
Let me touch on that right quick because nowadays you got these women out here that's working. They got their own business, making their own money. So women are basically getting to the point where, like, okay, I don't need a man. I can have a man if I want one, but I don't need one. So when you get that mind frame, that's kind of putting us on the back burner. Like, okay, we're trying to show y'all that we here for y'all, but you telling me, okay, you don't need me because you make twice the amount of money I make. You got your own business, you got a job, you got your own car, you got your own house, you raising your kids by yourself because your baby daddy or your ex-husband in jail. Well, what you need me for? If I'm trying to prove to you that I can be there for you, but you already telling me you already got it locked down. So a lot of women do have that mind frame. So it's kind of intimidating to most guys when a woman is like that.
Keith, what's your response to that?
Me, I look at life differently. Me, I just look at life through a whole different scale. My whole thing is about energy. If our energy don't even get into the same realm, a lot of people say, oh, I'm woke, oh, I'm conscious. But then as soon as you bring up a conscious conversation, we going somewhere else. Why is you talking like that? I don't mean to jump off subject, but I'm just saying.
I hear you.
It's like, a lot of times that men, we get into positions and then it's like, I've heard this before. A woman in position to help a man come up, she will say no. But a man who's rich, she wants that guy to help her come to another level. So why is not vice versa? Let's talk about that. Let's get to the real stuff that's real. Like your homegirl, she wants to travel the world and date men from outside the world. But it's like, baby, you got a whole grown man in your backyard, but you keep looking past him because he drive a Chevy. He ain't got that thing you looking for on your checklist. That's not where he's at in his life. He might not even want it in his life. You know what I'm saying? He might be looking at life like, hey, man, you know what? I'm gonna let these rich people be rich. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna be wealthy and I'm gonna do what I have to do with myself and my family. Because see me, I'm not even the type of dude that splurge and show you money no more. And you'd have caught me in my 20s. Yeah, I would have tricked for that thing. Now I won't give you a grain of salt. Be looking at you like, okay, you can have what you want, pretty. All right, beautiful woman, go on, get what you can get, do what you can do. I don't even need that trouble.
Listen. One thing y'all said is you want to be, when you get to the real meat of conversation, it flip and they can't handle it. A lot of women can't handle it. We have a video we want to play that speaks to that, and then we want you to talk to us on the other side. Okay, so all banners down right now. We have a video we want to play. No comments up right now, Steph. And when it comes back around, you tell us what you think, whether or not what he's saying is true, whether you could identify with it. Okay. All right.
I say, you know what? Are you making me happy? And I look at you and say, no, you're not. You're not doing this. I feel like your cooking is not that good. I feel like I'm not getting sex as frequently as I would like, or as frequently as you advertised when we were in the dating stage. I feel like you are not that attentive to me and things that you don't benefit from. I feel like, XYZ, a man get to laying that shit out to most women. If we gonna be honest, she gonna, like, all she heard is what I'm not doing. And typically how that goes is it gets flipped immediately. Oh yeah, well, when you do this, or what you doing, instead of actually taking the criticism that a man's giving you, going back to work on it and implementing it into the relationship like men have to do. So that's why I feel like the disconnect is women talk like it's very easy for this man to just communicate what you're not doing and I'll go fix it. That's not the case. So even if
Woo! Well, for those of you that are just chiming in, it's about to get juicy. As we're talking to our featured guest tonight about what every man wants in a woman, we have featured with us Mr. Keith Liddell along with GT Gartrell. So I don't know, guys. Y'all saw the video. I mean, we're going to toss it over to you, GT. What you think about what the fella said? I mean, is it really hard for you guys to communicate with ladies about maybe what it is that they didn't do right or not doing right, or in your past relationships? I know you guys are single now, but what does that look like as a dynamic of being able to talk about that?
Well, it just depends on if the woman is capable of taking constructive criticism, because she gonna feel like you criticizing her and you're not really criticizing her. You just telling her, okay, this is how I feel, but she don't want to hear that. So she just think you just talking shit to her. So it's gonna lead into an argument, or it's gonna be, oh, I ain't got nothing to say to you, and then you go off in a different direction. She go off in a different direction, because I actually went through that same thing in my marriage when I was married. So communication, that's the key thing in a relationship, because if I'm trying to tell you how I feel, but I don't know how to express myself, so now I'm quiet and I'm watching TV and I ain't paying you no attention, but I really want that affection from you, but you ain't giving me that affection because you think I'm criticizing you, that's going to cause problems. That's going to cause her to not want you to touch her. That's going to cause her to not want to be around you. And that's going to cause the guy to go step out and be with somebody else. Okay, well, if you don't want to give it up, I done had a long day at work. I done had to put up with these people talking shit to me all day and people slamming doors in my face. I need me some, because that's a man's release. Like, sex is a man's release, but that ain't the same thing with a woman. A woman want to be talked to. They want to be cuddled. They want to have conversation. We want sex. But all y'all look at us as like, oh, that's all y'all want is sex. But when y'all shut it down, women can use that as a way to torture a man. Oh, I ain't going to give him none because he ain't acting right. He ain't washed the dishes. He ain't did this. I ain't going to give him none. I don't feel good. I'm on my cycle. And then that lady next door was saying, okay, well, your wife don't want to act right. Come on over here.
Listen. You got keeping it real. Keep you up next. As far as somebody, you can get anytime but my cycle. Get the hell on away from me when I'm
like,
look, okay, what you got to say, Keith? What you got to say?
Hey man, I just want to jump in on that one, because a lot of women do not listen to digest. They listen to respond. Oh, you don't. Oh, I ain't. It's like, hold up, sweetheart. Did you hear what I said?
Right.
Yeah, I heard everything you said. You said I don't please you. No, that ain't what I said. Yeah, it was some stuff after that you didn't listen to, like I said. So a lot of times women are so ready. Oh, I'm finna. Well, he ain't gonna get me. And it's like, what? We're not in competition, sweetheart.
Yeah,
we building something here. And when you building a building, it takes one block at a time. You can't build a building tomorrow.
Right. Yes. And you know what? I want to say this too. I think this goes all with both. Before anybody gets on here talking about it, goes both ways. Everything we talk about go both ways tonight. So just don't waste your breath on that. Everything we talk about goes both ways tonight. Okay. It's important. It may even be more important how you say something than what you said. And timing is everything. Don't come to me with 2 duffel bags full of issues and we in the middle of an argument. And now you got 27 things that I'm not doing right because we're in the middle of an argument. These are conversations that need to be had when you are both calm, collected, with a cool head, and operating in love, compassion, and consideration for each other. These are not conversations that need to happen in the middle of a dang on argument. These are not conversations that need to happen in a heated environment. I don't need you to be telling me 27 things I'm not doing right because we didn't have an argument about you didn't take the trash out. That ain't the time.
Miss December.
Mr. Keith Lydell, what's up, brother?
That's what that is right there. Give me 10 minutes. When I call your name, just stop. Just be like, you know what? What's happening?
I gotta hear you first.
You know what I'm just saying? Yeah. So when it's that to that point, because a lot of men, we don't want to say nothing off the rip because we don't want to hear that. We already know, man. I've had a hard day at work. She don't even know I had a hard day at work. She don't know I got pulled over 4 times today. She don't know that. But when I come home, if I say one thing or if I say 10 things when we're in an argument, that's because I've been holding it in because, like you say, I got to be the man. I cannot be expressing myself to you like that because I got to be in control of our household. So if I come home to you every day complaining about what's going on outside of this house, like my man say, when I come home, I don't want to hear no arguments.
Right.
So you don't know what I went through. When you see me walk through the door, you say, baby, how was your day? All of that, Oh, you ain't did this, and you don't come in my house with that business, or don't come in our house with that.
Yes.
Because when I walk through that door, the first thing you should be doing, if I'm that man that's taking care of everything that I'm supposed to take care of, you should be first thing I walk in that door. You supposed to say, "Hey, baby, how was your day?"
Hey, baby.
Look, I agree with that. I want to put this comment back up because I think this is important. Lula White said, "Tell me what I am doing right." I think both men and women fail in this area too often. Where the only time you hear from me is when I'm doing wrong, but all the while I'm doing right, I'm not getting the attaboy or the attagirl. I'm not getting the pat on the back. I'm not getting the baby. Thank you so much for just providing for this house. I just, I know you don't tell me about your day every day, but I know you go through it sometimes, and I just appreciate how you love on me. I think men and women struggle in this area. Tell me what I'm doing right. Why is it that I can't hear from you until I'm messing up? I ain't doing, and this is where you might get that comment from men. So I ain't doing nothing right. Have any of you ever heard that or said that? So I ain't doing nothing right. And usually that's because they haven't been communicating what you have been doing right. They haven't been communicating where you've been checking the box. They haven't been communicating.
That goes back to knowing yourself. If you don't even know who you are, see, we remember who we were. That's a lot of our problems because we remember. You know what remember means? That's putting back together a past that once was. We don't want to be there.
Right.
Because we were technically taught. Technical thinkers think on about what you say to me to do. What you tell me to do, I'm going to do. That's a technical thinker. Yeah. An abstract thinker is going to be the person who listens, digests it, reform it, and put that thing together like it's supposed to be. And a lot of men, just like my man said, we're visual. So if you're not giving us a vision to work towards, if you over here in the corner just steady talking, we don't want to hear that. Especially if you get home from work and you get on the phone with your homegirl and be like, "Girl, let me tell you what happened today. I'm sitting right here. I'm right here. What are you telling her for?" But yet still, that's a woman's thing, and we let y'all do y'all thing. And we don't even complain.
Some of y'all do. But listen, I got a video I want to show that goes toward what you were saying. Women, listen, before I play this video, I want to just say, women, I don't want y'all going off on this woman in the comments for speaking her truth.
Yeah.
Her truth. This don't have to be your truth. But what I want to say is, if it is your truth, be honest with yourself. Keep it real with yourself. Own that. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. And fellas, we're going to talk to you on the other side.
I realized today that I have nothing to offer a man. Nothing. And I feel like it took me 32 years to realize it, because I just found that out today. So I was today years old when I realized it. And then it took me a lot of pride swallowing to be able to admit it. I'm going to tell you why I feel the way I feel. This is not based off anyone else. This is only based off myself. But I just wanted to share it just in case it may help somebody else. I feel like I don't have anything to offer to a man because a man asked me what I had to offer him. And it was the way he asked that made me realize that I don't. He simply stated, "I realize that you're single, but tell me, what would I benefit from having you as my woman?" Now, outside of the basics, like, oh, I look nice, I can cook, I work, I didn't have nothing else to offer. And the reason I realized that I didn't is because I got to thinking about myself, and all I've been doing for so many years is just working and taking care of kids. I don't know necessarily what I'm into, so there goes hobbies. I'm not necessarily sure my feminine level of energy, because majority of my relationships, I wore the pants. So how can you, as a woman, offer to be a woman to a man if you've never fully been a woman? I am a woman because I'm a female, but I'm talking about like actually be a woman, like to a man. I've never experienced that, so I don't know what that feels like. So I can't honestly say that I have anything to offer as far as a woman outside of just being a woman. So that means all I really do have to offer is some pussy because I'm a woman and we have one. That's really not enough. I can't honestly say I can offer you a nurturing environment because I'm too frustrated about the children that I have and the lack of help that I have with them. So it's like I can't necessarily be so nurturing to you when I'm frustrated at the amount of nurturing that I'm already doing. So therefore, I know I can't offer you that. I can offer cooking for you, but then to me, it comes at a price, because if you're coming and you're sitting and you're eating my food and you're not providing any of it, I'm a feel away. So now I'm offering you bitterness. That's not anything a man wants. Why would you want a bitter female? Well, I'm bitter because of my own merits. So it's not your job to fix the bitterness. It's my job to fix. As much as I want a man to come to me ready, able to provide, work, and handle himself, I think that me as a female, I need to have my emotions in check, because if a man wants peace, I don't have any because I'm frustrated. I'm bitter, I'm emotional, I'm upset. So I made this video because today I realized that I don't have anything to offer a man outside of good looks. And I learned that I don't want a man for just his looks. So how can I be so selfish and only offer a bare minimum and expect so much? That is some unfair shit.
Wow.
I love her.
I'm not even gonna say nothing. We want your reaction to that, starting with Mr. Gartrell. What do you got to say to that?
That goes back to exactly what I said earlier about all these independent women that got their own house, their own car, their own job, their own business, and they wear the pants in the household, and now they're looking at me like, well, what can you bring to my table? Because I already hold my household down. What is it that you gonna give me that I ain't already got? So when you already got that mind frame, you taking my masculinity away from me because you ain't gonna let me be a man. And that's what I'm trying to be to you. I'm trying to be the man. I'm trying to be the head of the house. Like the Bible said, I'm trying to be the head, not the tail. So I'm trying to bring my worthness to this household. But if you already shutting me out saying, well, what you gonna give me? I already got my own money. What I need yours for? So you giving me so many standards, like you giving me stipulations like, well, what can I bring to the table other than my college degree? You got a college degree too. Matter of fact, you got 2 or 3 college degrees. I can't compete with you because I got 1 college degree. So that's putting me in a bad situation. So I'm like, well, damn, I might as well go elsewhere. And I might be missing out on a good woman because she done already gave me those stipulations and ruled me out.
Now, brother, she's missing out on a good man. Don't ever put yourself in that position to think that you missing out on a good woman. You got to remember, king. You ain't missing out on nothing but a king. That's her business. Because she's trying to be the king.
Well, tell us what you think about what she said when she said, I'm really can't offer a man anything right now. A lot of women are not going to admit that. They're just not.
Exactly.
What did you think about what she said? Because a lot of women do think if they got the booty, that's the, hey, I come with, that ain't enough. It's not enough. What did you think about what she said?
You just answered it. A lot of women ain't going to think that. That is the problem in this society, because of society has ruled us to think that way. And now social media don't make it no better. Because now we feel like we got to have 100 likes to be important in this world.
Right.
Now we feel like, oh, if they not hearting the picture instead of just thumb up in the picture, oh, it's a difference. It's like, are you serious? Think, man. I'm talking about these are grown women with this mentality.
Yeah.
I was in a situation one time, a woman told me, why are you hearting them pictures? I said, chick, you 51. You got to be kidding me.
Well, let me say something real quick, because I think for myself personally, I've experienced this. So this is just a transparent moment, that even if it was to a point to where if you saw interest in a man, or you were vibing with him and feeling them, but he just flat out maybe told you though that he wasn't either ready to be committed or to be exclusive. I mean, maybe in our mind as women, we kind of maybe feel like, well, maybe we'll change him, or maybe over time that, you know what I'm saying? So I think we as women have to give an account for our trying to change their mind, right? Because if a man is literally telling you he's not ready, you're not gonna make him get any ready. Then he already telling you he ain't ready, right?
What do you say, brother?
Or it could be
What
the
you want to say?
scenario of what he went through in the past relationship. Because I'm dealing with that right now. I got somebody that want to be in a relationship with me. I said, give me some time. I just got out of a toxic relationship. This is the first time since 2007 that I've actually been single, and I forgot how to be single because I was married for 10 years and I've been divorced 2 years, but jumped right into a relationship and it was toxic for 2 years. So I'm like, let me get myself together because I can be ready to cuss you out at the drop of a dime. That's where my headspace is. But let me get myself together before I decide to commit to you, because I don't want the same thing that I went through before. Like, yeah, my triggers will make me cuss you out in a quick minute. Let me get myself together. It ain't gonna take no 2 or 3 and 4 and 5 years. But if you're dealing with a woman that's been single for 6 and 7 years, they ready for a relationship. If you just got out of one like 6 months ago, you ain't so eager to just jump back into one. But this person that's been single for 6, 7 years, they're like, well, what's the holdup? I'm a good woman. I'm ready for you. Give me some time. Let me make sure that I'm right for you, because I don't want to bring my toxicness to you and ruin a whole good woman.
Yeah.
But they have to remember, they have to understand that they're toxic first before they even acknowledge the fact that they're toxic. I mean, to you, they don't feel like they're toxic.
Right.
But Stephanie said a big thing though. If I thought she was going to finish with accountability, the word accountability.
That's good.
You got to understand that word in a major facet of life, because if you're not holding yourself accountable for the way you're reacting, your emotions, your past and all that, if you're not accountable for that, you'll never have a good relationship. Ever.
Look, and
If I mess up, I'm gonna say, Keith, hey man, you messed up. And then I'm gonna come to that woman, I'll be like, hey, you know what? Yesterday wasn't a good day for me. I did some wrong things. I apologize.
That's right. First of all, it takes maturity to do that. And a lot of these folks out here are old. They just old. They not mature.
They not mature.
They just grown, but they haven't grown up. Okay. And there's a lot of men and women out here like that. Miss Stacy Blackson said, I just had this talk with myself. I want better. I have to be better. And I think this is really the main thing. If you want better, you have to be better. One of the things that the woman said on the video, and she got a lot of flack for that, but she was being honest with herself. She wasn't talking about nobody but herself. So I don't know why people had a problem with what she was saying about herself. Okay. If the shoe don't
because
fit,
they
don't
nosy.
It's right. But if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. But if you found anything in there that you could identify with, that's something that you can fix. She said, I can't nurture you because I'm tired from nurturing the kids. She's if I cook for you, I'm gonna feel some kind of way. She acknowledged all the things that's toxic about her. What she basically said in that whole, it was really a 6-minute video that we chopped up 2 minutes and some change, but you could sum all of it up in one sentence. I need to heal.
Right.
Out of everything she said, I could sum it up in I could sum it up in those 4 words. Starting with the accountability, I need to heal. I need to heal from the past relationships. I need to heal from being left with these kids. I need to heal from this struggle. I need to heal and learn from the Lord how to be a lady and be a woman, because I've been wearing the pants. And so I've been wearing a crown that don't belong to me. And I'm going to be in a struggle with you over that crown because I don't know. I haven't figured out that it doesn't fit me. I need to heal. And there's another thing that I want to say in response to what Mr. Brother Eligible Bachelor GT Gartrell said. Listen, we're in a different age. I need to say this first. Keith, don't you interrupt me. We're in a different age. We're not in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or even the 80s. This is the year of our Lord 2022. Okay. With that, why am I saying that? It is no longer a thing where our daughter's life goal is get raised up, go to school, and get married, and that's their whole entire life purpose. It used to be that our whole entire life's purpose as a woman, you can go all the way back in the Bible, where our value was just based on how many kids we could have to extend the lineage of the man. And that was all that we were worth, period. It used to be that I had to have a husband because up until I think the 70s or so, somewhere in the early 70s or late 60s, I couldn't even get a credit card in my own name if I wasn't married. In the 50s, I could not even get a bank account if I wasn't married. I couldn't get squat in my name. It used to be that I had to get married to survive. Those days are over. Period. A lot of men just need to realize that. I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I don't need you to pay my rent. I don't need you to buy me a car. I don't need you to pay my light bill. I'm sorry that makes you feel some kind of way, but let me tell you why I need you and how I need you. I have to refrain from saying I don't need a man because that's a lie. Okay? As a matter of fact, when God created man in the garden, he said it's not good for man. Now, this, if you don't believe in the word of God, that's fine. I'm just telling you where I'm at. In the scripture, he said it's not good for a man to be alone. I'm going to create for him. Now, y'all men, simmer down for what I'm about to say, especially you, Keith. God, because I'm about to take y'all somewhere deep. I'm about to deep. Are you ready for this?
Preach.
In the scripture, God created the man. Okay, gave him instructions, gave him dominion, gave him an assignment. And then he looked at the man and said, it is not good for him to be alone. And then he said, I'm going to create for him a helpmeet. Why are you offended that I don't need you to help me with bills and groceries and a house and a car note and a vehicle? He didn't create you to help me with that. He created me to help you. Now, let me tell you what I need from you because he created me for relationship. Let me tell you what he said. I created woman for the man to help him to come alongside him. You mad because I don't need you to pay my rent? Boy, I don't need you to pay my rent. I need you to love me because I was created to love you. I need you to care for me because I was created to care for you.
All right. Look, she done got stirred up. I
need you to be gentle with me because I was created to be gentle for you. I need you to tell me the truth because I was created to be your truth. I need you to be peace because I was created to be your peace.
All right.
I was created for that.
Okay, can I say this?
I don't need you.
Can I say this right quick?
Because he didn't create you to help me. He created me to help you. Now
That's
we can help each other. But
can I help you to say this right here?
Hold on,
Jay.
Wait, let Brother Keith say what he gotta say.
Jay. Mr. GT said that a whole 30 minutes ago.
Right.
He told you that. He said a lot of women don't want that help because they are so independent with that mindset.
No.
And
You
missed
me already. Nope. Let me stop.
I didn't miss you. No. Hold on. Let me finish. I didn't miss you because the thing is, what I'm getting back to what my man said, it was the fact that he was trying to be there for a woman and be that man to where she can be the helpmate. And she wasn't trying to be the helpmate because she had her mindset already conditioned to be like, I don't need you.
I'm not sure we're on the same wavelength, but I do hear what you're saying.
We are. Yeah, we're talking the same talk.
So listen, let me just jump in here real quick because we are talking about everything though that a man wants in a woman. We've got our featured guests here. We're about to bring up another couple here shortly. So y'all don't go anywhere. Stick around. It's not over yet. Go grab you another drink. If you need to go get something to snack on, it's just getting gooder right now. So
gooder and gooder.
So we gotta tell our guests throw this out here real quick because we know you're eligible bachelor. So GT, I'm gonna toss it to you. Then we're gonna toss it to you, Keith. Like, what are you looking for specifically in a woman as it relates to the next of who could be on your arm, and maybe what are some deal breakers?
Well, every man wants peace. That's the main thing. At the bottom line, end of the day, we want to come home to a peaceful household. We don't want to come home and feel like we walking on pins and needles or eggshells. And what's she gonna argue with me about this time? What she got to say this time? Hey, baby, how was your day today? That's what we want to hear when we walk in the door. Greet me with open arms. I'm the type of guy that I'm touchy-feely. So if my woman grab me, I'm grabbing her ass when I hug her. And if that's a problem, then you ain't for me because I got to grab on my woman. That's just me. That's my nature. So I want to hug on my woman. I want to love on my woman. I want to touch on my woman. And if it's a problem for me to touch you, because I didn't realize being in the marriage that I was in, my ex-wife didn't even allow me to touch her. So that made me develop anxiety. If I can't touch my woman and I got anxiety, then what can I do with you? How can I be your husband? How can I be your man if I can't even touch you? If I'm afraid to touch you, I need to be able to touch my woman. Because not only are we visual creatures, we got to look at you. We got to feel you. We got to touch you. That's, that's some people's love language. The feeling, touching, that's my love language. I gotta feel on my woman. I gotta touch on you. I gotta show you that I love you. I gotta kiss on you. I gotta do all of that. That's my
Y'all
love
hear him,
language.
ladies?
Look, so how can these ladies reach out to you? I mean, how can they connect with you? I know you said you got one that's kind of trying to, but I mean, you still technically single, right? So how can people reach out to you?
Facebook, GT Gartrell, Instagram, GT Gartrell, and basically my name. That's how you can find me.
Okay. All right, Key, we're gonna toss it on over to you. Just thinking about, what you looking for in a woman.
Honesty on all facets of life. Honesty. And if she's honest with me, I can be honest with her. And loyalty is gonna come about regardless because we're gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be a question of where you going, where I'm at. And don't be afraid, women. Let me tell you this: don't be afraid when a man asks you, say, hey, so who you going with? Because we want to know: do I got to get up at 3 a.m. to go fight somebody?
Yeah.
Or one. I'm gonna say 1 a.m. Because I know women do, hang out with their girls. I'm not no jealous type of dude. Go hang out, have fun. If y'all come in at 4, long as I know you with the right person, I'm straight. Right. I'm an honest. My whole thing is honesty and communication. Please talk to me. We ain't gotta argue about nothing. Just say, hey, babe, if it gets too loud, hey, let's calm that down. Be able to control your emotions. If you cannot control your emotions, don't talk to me.
How can
Yeah. And then the last thing I look for in a woman, figure it out. If I'm in a bind, figure it out.
Okay.
If I say, hey man, if you at a party, you can be at the mayor's party. I don't care where you at. If I say, hey man, I'm over here, I need you right now to come to me right now and grab me and take me some, figure it out.
Are you saying because you would do that for her? Are you saying because I want to make sure we make clear what that means? Because I don't, we got to make sure because people be like, what the hell he mean figure it out? You mean make it happen for me like I'm going to make it happen for you.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
I will run every red light in the state of Florida to get to you to make sure that you got a smile on your face when I get there. Figure it out.
Figure it out.
How can these ladies reach out to you, Keith? How can they reach out to you?
They better figure it
right
out.
On Facebook, Keith Liddell. I don't know my Instagram page is gonna be yet because I'm right now it's Oak Cliff Lifer, but I'm gonna change that. I got some other stuff coming up. I'm about to transform, do me a whole Transformers. I got some stuff coming up. So Keith Liddell on Facebook. Y'all catch me on Keith Liddell on Facebook. And the main cast is 8:30 Wednesday nights. We talk about all type of topics. We just like my man. We gonna be talking about everything. Everything. Yesterday we talked about polygamy. Hey, who would have thought of that one?
I had that same conversation yesterday.
I'm not sharing the dick. I'm not sharing the dick. I'm not doing that. Listen, for those of you that are chimed in with us right now, can y'all show some love in the comments for our fellas tonight, as they have been talking about what every man wants.
Thank y'all. Thank you guys for being on tonight.
So again, we really appreciate you guys. We are going to bring around, and I'm going to let Prosperity Doula take an opportunity to shine the light on this next couple that's going to be joining us, because we're going to chop it up with them, and we got some questions for them too. They've been paying attention though, right? From last week to this week. And as a married couple, who we got coming around? Prosperity Doula?
We have Tim and Rona Neely. And if y'all were on here the other show, man, I was living for Rona's comments. I have not spoken to Brother Neely much at all, but I know he got to be an amazing fella to be with that queen right there. You know what I'm saying? He got to be, batting 1,000 to be with Miss Rona Neely. You know what I'm saying? And so, look, they're going to be coming up here in just a second. But as we get ready to bring them up, we got a quick video we're going to show, and we're going to ask them to speak to this. And we just, after all this talking, after all we've talked about what a man ain't doing, what a woman ain't doing, what we want a woman to do, what we want a man to do, sometimes we get it right. And when we get it right, sometimes we get it really right, and God gets all the glory. And I believe that's what's going to happen. That's what's happened with Tim and Rona Neely. And just, that's what's happened here. And we're going to play this testimony for y'all. And then we're going to see Tim and Rona on the other side.
When I got into rehab, first day or so, I guess my body's detoxing, and every time I try to get ready to hit my little stuff, I pull it out and try to hit it. I hear some footsteps down the hall. And that footsteps was the counselor, stayed across the hall, and I put it back up. And every time he leave, I'd go and I'd listen, and I get my stuff and try to hit it again. I hear some more footsteps. And this time, this was a lady. And she was like, you've been here a couple of days, and you're doing a lot of sleeping, and you're not participating in class. And I want to see you a little later in my office. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And so anyway, I go to her office, and she was like, what are you going to do when you get out? I know your cousin, and she was in my program, and, we got you in here, and, it was like, what you gonna do? And then I just broke down, started crying, because I said, I don't have nowhere to go. And so, she said, I'll help you. I won't let your feet hit the ground. She got me a house, filled it up with furniture, everything, man. This woman, I didn't know her for Adam. And when I got ready to graduate, that woman took me to that house, and I said, ma'am, I cannot live in this house by myself. She said, I don't know what the hell you looking at me for. I can't do this by myself. I ain't gonna be able to. So I asked her to marry me. It's been 20 years. I never look back. I ain't never looked back. I swear.
Listen, did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all hear that, Tim and Rona? Wow. Did y'all hear that? Look, you guys got to unmute yourself, Tim and Rona, and unmute your mic. But listen, there is, we talk, I played that video because we have so much to say about what a man is and what a man isn't, and what a woman is and what a man isn't. Sometimes there's a diamond in the rough. Yeah. And you really got to know, you really got to be in tune with the Holy Spirit about whether or not this is a diamond or if this is just another dusty goat. But sometimes there's the diamond. When she met him, he was an addict. Wow. When she met him, was an addict. She said, I'm not going to let you. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about the help me. She did not need him to buy her a car. Yeah. She did not need him to buy her a house. She did not need him to buy groceries. And I promised Tim and Ron, we're going to let y'all speak, but I got to get this off my chest right now. Go ahead. She did not need him to pay her light bill. She did not need no gas money. I think we got to shift this idea of a man being a certain kind of thing and providing a certain kind of thing. You're dealing with a 21st century woman that can do it by herself, but she doesn't want to. I don't want to. Stephanie doesn't want to. Melanin Godness doesn't want to. Tiffany Lachey doesn't want to. Yes, we could pay our own bills. And no, I don't want to marry some man so I can pay my bills. I want to marry somebody so I could be loved right and so that I could love him right. And so that what we do in our purpose could bring glory to God. It ain't about the money. It's not about the degrees and the cars and the houses. She didn't need none of that from him. But I bet you right now she don't want for nothing. And she never got to work another day on a job in her life. And her children gonna be blessed because she saw a diamond in the rough and she met him where he needed help. Ladies, yes. Sometimes the standard is in the ground and we need to raise the standard, but sometimes we see a man and we can't see the king in the man because our pain won't see the king. All right.
Okay, Doula, look, she done got powered up. So listen, Tim and Ronald, guys, you have been here from last week to this week. I know you've heard a lot, seen, you know, how we've operated as singles out here in these streets. So we really just want to give you the platform. You can address whatever you've heard. We're going to allow you to speak some wisdom. You know, we're going to ask you a few questions in there, but go ahead and share with the people from what you've heard and how you can share and what we could really glean from your wisdom.
Yeah, well, I would just speak as I speak to my own children. We have 6 children. We're a blended family of 6 children and 7 grandchildren. And the things that we would say to them, or we have said to them, is what we'll say now, is a lot of times we as women, you know, and as men, we are looking for something that really doesn't even exist. We're looking for a man or that mate who is perfect, someone who we have seen maybe in our father, or someone who we hoped to see in our father. And a lot of times we don't even know what really went on in the marriage. We really don't even know what really went on with your daddy. You just saw that image and you think that's what you are going for. And a lot of times we have this this materialistic thing. I've never really been a materialistic type person. And so when I talk to my daughters, you're not looking for somebody who, oh, he fine, or he look good. And he in the mirror longer than you. Okay. Oh, he drive this kind of car. And who paying on it? His mom?
Right.
What kind of vision he got? What kind of goals does he have? You know, or is he just worried about the next tennis shoe? Or is he worried about the next name brand? This, what, you know, how I had daughters when he had 2 daughters and I had 2 daughters. Like, what are you going to be for me and my girls? What can I be for you and your girls? Not just, okay, well, he this for me, he that for me. I heard Tiffany say that earlier and I applaud her on that. Bella is important. Your daughters are important. Your children are important. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of times we're looking for that thing, that false image, if you know, of what society has said. Oh, well, oh, honey, you like him? Oh, honey, look at him. You're looking at the wrong thing. You're looking at the wrong thing. And the same thing that I say to my daughters, I said to my sons. I have twin sons. One of them just got married. The other one is dating seriously. But I'll tell them, don't bring no fool home to me.
Right.
I don't care how cute she is. I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care about her body. Listen, if she ain't got no sense, take her right on back where you found her from. And that's the truth. I'm sorry, I keep on going. Tim, you got something?
Well, like she was saying, I totally agree with that. You can't just look at that personal way they look and the things they have. That's not going to get it. But to kind of speak to what you were saying at the beginning about, because when we first met, my wife was actually having a house built, and you know, she had her own money. She had a brand new car. And so I can relate to everything you were saying. When I came along, I felt like I was not being a man because I felt like she didn't need me because she had everything she needed. And it caused problems. It caused us to argue. You know, you're like, this is your house too. And I was like, no, it ain't. This your house. You know, things like that. I ain't built this house. You built it. My name ain't even on it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to humble myself. And I've learned too, just like you were saying, when my dad was growing up and when he was a man, all he had to do was go to work and bring home the money. You know what I'm saying? And he was the man.
Just for that.
Just for that.
He didn't have to do nothing else.
He didn't have to have no.
He could have a whole family across town, and that was still okay because that's all he had to do.
And so, like you said, this is a new time now, you know, and women are making their money. But I had to look at myself. What do I bring to this table? What do I have that this family needs? I can bring peace. I can bring security. I can bring a lot of different things that she can't bring. You know what I'm saying? So I had to look within myself and not look at what all she has, all her gifts and talents and or degrees and stuff. I only had a high school diploma, you know, and she got a master's. You know, I'm just like, okay, you know. But as a man, we have to look within ourselves and search and say, hey, look, I have things too. I may not have what she has, but I have some things that I can bring to the table that will help our marriage and they will help our family. And
he had exactly what I needed, whether I knew it or not. My foolish tail didn't even know it. I almost sabotaged that whole thing because I didn't even recognize love when it was presented to me by God. I didn't even recognize it.
Help us. Why couldn't you see it?
Because I was a fool. That's the truth of the matter. Because I was a fool, didn't have sense. God gave a billy goat, the way my grandfather would say it. I was in self-sabotage. And because I was toxic, I was like, okay, well, he ain't gonna do me like this. Ain't no man gonna ever do me. I'm looking at everything that happened to my mom. I'm looking at everything that happened to my sister. I'm looking at everything that happened to me. I had a boyfriend whose mother told me when I thought he was cheating, she said, well, you just gonna have to get over that because ain't no woman ever gonna have a man to herself. I said, well, I guess I'll go gay then. Because if I ain't listen, because I'm not sharing, I'm not.
And that's a woman who has talked herself into being okay with being cheated on, and now she done made herself all right with it.
Right, and you getting ready to try to make me think that that's what I'm supposed to settle for. Absolutely not. But I did not recognize when I saw this man. I had come to the decision that I was ready to calm down. I had been to the clubs. I had done all the partying. I was a single mom. Neither one of their fathers was doing anything to help. And I was like, you know what? I got to turn myself around or I'm going to end up being just like who I said I wasn't going to end up being like. So I need to get my ish together and I need to, you know, so I recommitted to the Lord. I started going to church. I joined this choir, this community choir, and he was already on the choir. Okay. And he was already on the choir and I went in with the mindset of, I don't have time for foolishness. I'm ready to settle down and make sure that my girls are set. Okay. So I'm going in and I'm like, okay, rehearsal starts at 6:30. Now I'm prompt. Like if I'm supposed to be somewhere, I want to be there on time. I'm gonna be there 5 minutes early. I don't want to be late. So we're sitting there and I'm like, okay, why we ain't starting? And don't, oh boy, don't do that. Okay, so I'm sitting there like, you know, they said, well, Tim ain't here. I'm like, who the hell is Tim? Like, I'm sitting up there thinking, like I said, I just rededicated, so I'm like, I'm still cussing stuff. So I'm like, what's he, honey? With 6:30. So then finally, 45 minutes later, in comes Mr. Tim Neely. Tall, dark, chocolate, handsome, Mr. Tim Neely, honey. Yes, it's sexy. But let me tell you, he comes walking in and it's like earth stops spinning. It's like everything just stopped in its track. And everybody, the altos, the sopranos, and the tenors wanted him. I'm sorry, it's the truth.
Now you said something there because I mean it's real.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. So I'm gonna make this quick, and I'm gonna tell y'all my version because he swears wrong. But we going on, and I find out that basically this man, everybody on the choir wanted, but he's engaged. He's engaged to the piano player. Now, I was also engaged to someone, but he was not ready to take the step that I was ready to take. He was not ready to change his life. So I had made up in my mind a little while later, like, I'm done with that. He's not ready to change. I need to move on. We really did not know that each other was engaged, and we really did not know that we had even broken off our engagements at the same time, did not even know it.
Wow.
And the whole time I'm looking at him like, oh, he's arrogant. Oh, he arrogant. Oh, he think he did. Oh, oh no, he gets on my last nerve. Ain't no way.
She wanted me.
She wanted you. She wanted you.
Just ain't no
trying to talk
way.
herself out of it.
Got on my nerves. There was nothing I saw in him. I was like, no. And he said the same thing about me. Like, she talked too much. She talked way too much for me. I can't have no woman like that. She always got something to say. And we basically wrote each other off and did not even realize that we were exactly what the other one needed. Exactly what the other one needed.
Wow.
And so quick to just write somebody off because they don't look the way you think they should look, or the way your friends think they should look, or they don't act the way, you know what I'm saying? They just have these false expectations that you put on people and false images that you cut yourself out of a blessing.
Yeah. Now you said something right there, Rona, that I often use, and that is false expectations. I'm guilty. I am definitely guilty, because you know how we have the pros and cons, but I do believe opposites attract. You're right. So yeah, I mean, for the ladies that's watching right now, I do realize that white picket fence and that whole American dream, and he gonna have it all together, and it rarely exists. There's no perfect man, and there's always going to be a flaw somewhere. Even we as individuals have flaws. So what would you encourage someone, again, that's watching, that they are in that situation right now? Maybe they have someone in their ear saying, you know what, girl, he ain't for you, or you know what, guys, he ain't. But it really could be their diamond in the rough, right?
Yeah.
What would be your word of encouragement for someone to say, you know what, don't give up on them? Because I often said this too, like, you'll fix them up, but it end up being for somebody else. You'll throw them away before you get them to where you really need them to be, or what you could have desired, right?
And I'll say this, because we, at a lot of times through the years, in our marriage, we argued a lot.
Every day.
Okay? So I would say at least once or twice a year, we talked about getting a divorce.
Seriously.
And splitting up. And she would write out a list of what she wanted, what I could take. And
I wanted everything.
And so we came to that point a lot. But for some reason, we always stuck together. We always came together. We talked about it. We figured it out. And, I mean, it's not, we had a rough, I would say, rough time.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We had a rough time. But we stayed in there. We talked about it. We figured out what was going to work, what was not going to work. And even in the first part of our marriage, she would always ask me, what's our vision? What's our goal? Where we headed? Now, keep in mind, I'm old school. So I'm like, I'm going to go to work. You're going to go to work. We're going to pay these bills.
Yeah.
That's all I knew, because that's all I saw my dad do. But as I've grown, and she would always push me, you can do this, we can do that. So that's my helpmate. She was trying to help me be something. But where we fall in a lot of time is men, we don't have anything for our wives to help us with. And I didn't.
What's the vision? Where's the vision?
I had no vision. I didn't know where we was going. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So that caused a lot of problems in our marriage. So I guess I would say, stay in there, work it out, seek counseling, find somebody that can help you in your marriage. That's legit and that will be straightforward.
I was going to say with the real stuff, not just talking about, y'all just pray about it. No,
no,
you need to do more than pray about it.
Exactly.
Yes, because love, neither faith nor love is enough.
Right. You need to do a lot more than pray about it. You need to call a therapist, because you need to talk to somebody. He needs to call a therapist because he needs to talk to somebody. And a lot of what we struggled with is we were both bringing in toxicity. Right. Both of us had come out of very damaging, rough relationships, and we brought all of that baggage into the marriage. And we're both stubborn, and we're like, oh, you ain't getting ready. Oh, you ain't getting. And what makes it so bad, our pastor lived 2 houses down, and we down the street fighting and throwing each other over the bushes and in the ditches and stuff.
Woo! Well, so let me ask you a question. Would you say how long have you been married, first of all?
going on 27 years in November.
Can y'all just put some hearts in the comments just for them being married 20 years? Because if you can make it past 2 years these days, you're doing something for real. But would you say, based on what I'm hearing right now, would you say that the first either couple of years or first even maybe half of your marriage was spent shedding your past to be in your present? Because I'm hearing you say that y'all both came in toxic. Y'all both came in hot.
Yes, I think we were definitely shedding the past. We had a lot that came that was just all into the marriage. Like I said, just being a blended family. Like our first date was probably with our children. I mean, it was like we really didn't even have an opportunity. Well, we had one date, and then everything else was family dates. So we really didn't even have a chance to really get to know each other without being parents. So a lot of the time, like really the majority of our marriage was parenting. We like when we became empty nesters, it was like, okay, what we do now?
We went and got a dog.
Yeah, when it got
redefine your life.
It's like what do we do now? Like, so we brought in a lot. I had 2 baby daddies. Okay. And so you're dealing with this baby daddy and that baby daddy and this baby mama. And then your issues, your personal issues, and then my personal issues, and then the families that's talking inside your ear, all these different things. It's like we had so much that we had to deal with. But then here you have religion telling you, just pray about it.
Wow.
So you're struggling with all of that. And you're trying to figure out like what is wrong with us? What's wrong with us? And it was just so many of the other things that was coming in that we had to shed that away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, for what you all have shared tonight, I mean, just the wisdom of being able to be a living witness of a testament of what God could do through your marriage, to think about. There's so many of us, because even I desire to marry again. But it's just like you want to make sure you're with the right person with the right mindset, and that it's really going to be in alignment with you living your purpose-driven life. So for the ladies, Rona, that are looking, and I hate when the ladies say they look for their Boaz. I'd be like, that was Ruth's husband. But for the ladies that are in search of their significant other, their life partner, those of us that are kind of in wait, what would be your words of encouragement for us to just, I don't know, what would you encourage us at this moment?
Yeah.
And Kim, we're going to toss it to you then too, for you to give the word of encouragement for the fellas.
Yeah, I would say that you have to look at the qualities of a person. Look at the quality of that man, because you're not always going to go by you can't always tell by the substance, those material things that they have or don't have. You will mess yourself up looking at the wrong things, whether that's physical features or, the home or the car. You will mess yourself up if you are only looking, because those things are going to fade away. What you gonna do when that belly start dropping, them abs done drop? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when that car is no longer there? What you gonna do when that house is no longer brand new? What you gonna do when all of those things that you can touch, those tangibles, are gone?
Or when they get sick.
Exactly. What you gonna do? So you can't look at just those materialistic, tangible things. You got to look at those intangibles. This man brought me peace. He was the calm to my storm. I was in the most chaotic, dysfunctional family you could ever imagine. If you ain't heard about it, you can come see your daughter scorned. It's the story of my life. Let me tell you, that was my little plug in there.
Yes,
but let me tell you, when I tell you, I had never experienced that level of peace in my life. Like he was just a calmness, and all he had to do was just sing a tune, and it was like, woo. I'm sorry, but let me tell you, he just had a way about himself, and it had nothing to do with the sex. It had nothing to do with, oh, he's fine and this and this and that. Yeah, those things are great. Those things were there. But however, he brought something to me that I did not have and I had never had. He completed my puzzle. He completed it. He was the compliment. He was the other 90 to make me a 180. He was
he was what I needed, even when I didn't realize it's what I needed. So sometimes, ladies, just sit down, calm down, and you need to just take your eyes off of what you can see and think about those intangibles. Think about those things that he brings to you. Because if he can make you smile, if he can make you laugh, if he can sit with you when you're crying, if he can see you when your head ain't combed and your makeup ain't done, when he can sit there and rub those crusty feet, them heels done got a little crusty, if he can sit up there and look, that there you go. But if you always got to be beat, if you always got to be on point, if you always no.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I want to say something there because in our previous round we spent a lot of time on this, and so it's so important to me that you're saying this. He said this, Brother Tim said this out of his own mouth, that he came with a high school degree. You was building a house, and y'all argued about that a lot at first because at first he didn't know how to, excuse me, he didn't know how to receive that. But what you're saying is he brought me peace, and I think a lot of these men have to, because he said he was looking at his father and thinking that he needed to be what his father was, but that's not, his father was not the definition of a man. His father was his own man. Excuse me, y'all. That's the man his father was. That's not the man he is. He gets to define for himself what kind of man he gets to be.
Yes.
And every man that's watching, excuse me, y'all, every man that's watching gets to define what kind of man they get to be. I get so disheartened when I hear a man say, she don't need me, she got a degree, da-da-da. What make you think I don't need you?
Right.
Okay, so I don't need you to provide, but what if I need peace? Okay, so I don't need you to get me a car, but what if I need calm and clarity? Okay, so I don't need you to pay my light bill. What if I need life, love, and laughter?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need you to buy me a house. What if I need a home? Because I got a house, but it don't feel like home.
Yes.
Okay? I think we got to really redefine that. You said he's everything you need right now, and none of it had to do with money.
Right.
None of it had to do with degrees. None of it had to do with cars and houses. It was love. It was peace. It was joy. It was calm. It was clarity. It was purpose.
Yes.
What about purpose?
Yes.
Purpose and provision are not the same thing. Yes. What if I need your purpose, man of God? What if I need your purpose, King? I don't need your money. What if I need your heart and your love and your compassion and your gentleness? What if I never had a man speak to me softly?
Yes.
A lot of us women out here, I left a man because he didn't know how to treat me, not because I didn't love him, but because he couldn't figure out how to treat me like a lady. And I'm sick and tired of being talked to harshly just because you think I'm strong. Yeah. Most Black women are strong. That doesn't mean I want you to speak to me harshly. I want you to be gentle with me. Do I not deserve to be handled gently?
Right.
Okay. And for Black women, it's a thing. It's a thing. So I don't deserve to be talked to nicely. So I don't deserve gentleness. Yeah. I want to be a lady. Help me be a lady. I want to be a woman. Help me be a woman. Help me, empower me to be feminine. Help me. Help me by being a man. Help me to be a woman by being a man.
That's right. Help the brothers out, Brother Tim. So what would be your words of encouragement as we're planning to wrap up this really live broadcast of really what a woman wants, having a recap, talking about what a man wants in every woman. But I mean, there's some fellas that are still watching. I see GT is still in the background. He's listening to what your words of wisdom would be for the young men that are out there tonight.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell my wife now. I'm about to run out just a little bit, so I'm going to prepare y'all. She been worried I'm gonna run out, but I think this is important.
Run on.
And I'm saying it because I think it needs to be said, not because I want to run out. Don't build your relationship on sex. Okay? Don't go after that woman and expect sex on the first night. Because as men, we've been told we need it, we gotta have it. I can't live without it. You gotta give it to me. Now I've gotten older, and I used to believe that very same thing. All the time. I used to believe that. But it's not true. We've got to learn as a man self-discipline. You got to learn self-discipline. Yeah. And the thing about that is just because a woman says that you look nice and this and that, you ain't got to sleep with her. And just because you take her on a date and buy her dinner, take her to a movie, you don't have to have sex with her, because sex it's not going to last. It's not going to last. No. And the thing, and what I've learned, and as I've gotten older, if my wife don't feel like it, I'll take care of myself. I'm just going to be honest with you. What is okay? The end result is always the same.
Your children.
I told you I was gonna run out. But what I'm saying is,
they know what it is, Rona.
Which would be best?
They grown
to go out and, like I've heard some guys say, go out and cheat. Would that be the? I can't do that because I love her. And the thing about it, if I did something like that, I'm going to hurt her. I'm going to hurt all 6 of my kids. I'm going to hurt all 7 of my grandkids by an act that a pleasure that I want. I'm gonna take myself and put myself before everybody. Right. And the number one thing is, when a man says this, I got to take care of my needs. When he does that, there goes the whole marriage. There goes the family. When he steps out and say, I got to do me, or I got to take care of me. So don't build that, not on sex.
That's good. Well, listen, I tell you what, it has been an amazing show. We could go on and on and on. You see, we are already over a couple of hours within this time. So we really appreciate and honor you both for just taking time out of your busy evening to just spend it with us and share those words of wisdom. So how can people connect with you? I mean, let me put this disclaimer out there. We know we're not counselors. We're just sharing like real life experiences. But, you know, there may be people that want to reach out to you and just, you know, get a word of wisdom or just be encouraged or just follow your journey. And again, you've got a hit stage play, a daughter scorn that's about to hit the stage. So definitely go ahead and plug that again, how they can get tickets and how can they connect with you.
Yes, so we're both on Facebook, and we do actually provide marriage counseling for couples. We do premarital counseling, and we do marriage counseling, because that's one of the areas that we really came very, very close to divorcing seriously that time. And we went to the church, and the church of 15,000 members told us we don't have anything like that.
Wow.
And we're like, wait, but we're about to divorce. You know, and there was nothing. And thank God for, I'm going to throw them out there, Jerry and Stephanie Blassingame, for stepping up and taking us under their wing and providing this counseling for us. They were not licensed marriage counselors or whatever you may call it, but they cared about our marriage and they cared about us. And so that's what we do. We provide that for people. So you can find either of us on Facebook, Rona Neely, Tim Neely, on Facebook. We don't mind even sharing our phone number. It's 864-682-0046 is my number. 0048 is his number. We're that confident to be able to give our numbers out. Okay. So definitely reach us if you want someone to talk to, if you need someone to talk to, premarital, just in a relationship, whatever it is that you need, we'll give you that.
Let me pause y'all right there. Y'all act like y'all got some home training. Don't call these people at midnight and carrying on in the middle of your argument. Their business hours is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
But if you about to cut them, no, call me, please call me. Don't cut them. Call me first, okay? So we definitely don't mind that. But as far as the stage play, A Daughter Scorn, those tickets are on sale right now at Eventbrite. The show is January 14th. We are doing the encore. We had 2 sold out shows in 2020, and then COVID shut us down, but we are back. Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, or if you didn't get a chance to bring your whole family, as everybody said, the only thing I regret is I didn't bring my whole family. So if you didn't get that chance, you have the chance now. A Daughter Scorned, Eventbrite, January 14th. Yeah, we love to see you in the building.
All right. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys so much for rolling with us during this time. It has been a phenomenal show. Y'all show some love in the comments for the Neelys. Again, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys so much. So again, prosperity doula, you know, we could go on and on and on and on talking about what a woman wants and what a man wants, right? As it relates to just finding that right partner. So from another single to someone that's off the market now, listen, we're going to get it right. Y'all pray for your sisters out here in these streets. Because again, we just want to be happy. We just want to be loved. We just want to be cherished and shown some affection and have some good loving with our own man, right?
Yes.
But I tell you what, what's your final word for the people tonight, Prosperity Doula?
My final words for the people is keep it real with yourself so you ain't got to lie to nobody else.
Ooh.
Okay? Keep it real with yourself so you don't have to lie to nobody else. We watched a lot of great videos. We heard from some awesome eligible bachelors on tonight, some awesome eligible bachelorettes on tonight, and this amazing couple, Tim and Rona Neely. I posted in the chat about a daughter scoring. Y'all go get them tickets, okay? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. But my closing thing is this. Be the change you want to see. You've heard that before, right?
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see. If you want him to act like a man, then act like a woman. Okay, figure out how to be a lady. What did brother Liddell say? Figure it out.
Figure
it out. If you want him to know that you need him, act like you need him. I didn't say act needy. Y'all understand what I said?
Yeah.
I didn't say act thirsty, hungry, or needy. I said act like you need him. Does your presence and energy say that you could do without him? Because that might be why you're doing without him. I'm gonna tell you right now, we need our men.
We do.
Black, white, brown, red, yellow, I don't care what. We need our men. If we didn't, then God wouldn't have put them in the earth. And that's a statement that we need to take out and bury in the ground and stop letting it come out of our mouth. Because while you may not need him to pay your rent, you may not need him to pay your light bill, you may not need him to buy you a car, and you may not need him to put groceries in your refrigerator. Okay? You may need some peace. You may need some purpose. Not you need some peace. And I'm not saying you can't get that by yourself, but I'm saying that life is a whole lot better with somebody to love.
Oh yeah.
Somebody to be loved by you. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, help us out. We want to be gentle. We want to be calm. We even want to be quiet, but we want to have a reason to. Help us out.
That's good. Listen, what she said, what she said. But I would just want to encourage everybody because, you know, here it is, the end of the night. For those of us that are single, like we in the bed by ourselves tonight. We ain't got nobody to hug on us and rub on us and caress us and wake us up in the middle of the night and kiss and lick on us. None of that. Ladies, it's coming one of these days. I do not desire to grow old alone. And I believe that God has somebody just with my name on it awaiting us to be connected and become one. So, you know, my life partner's out there. I'm just wanting to be healed, whole, and ready so I can be all the woman and the wifey material that he needs me to be. So, fellas, only thing I'm going to say for the men is, I ain't even going to say nothing because y'all going to do what y'all want to do anyway, right? I'm not sharing. How about that? I do want to be monogamous. You know, I'm telling people I'm not in this whole pool of trying to put what I want. So y'all take me out the equation. I'm not going to say what I got going on. So you ain't got to be in my inbox. I don't want none of that right now. I'm just trying to figure it out, right? As Idell said, figure it out. So self-loving on myself right now because I really want to stay in a good space, in a good place. You know, I did seek counsel. I feel like I am ready. But God will know when I'm truly ready because I promise you by the time I really do decide to wed again, I'm gonna probably already be married by the time I introduce them to social media. Just know that, y'all. So it ain't gonna think it's strange when I pop off with somebody else's name on attached to my last name because I would have spent the time and invested. But I do know it ain't gonna take a long time. But it is complicated. It's complicated. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take off tomorrow, but we'll be back on Monday for Move Around Monday. So y'all stay tuned. It's been amazing. Thank y'all for engaging with us. Yours truly, Miss Jazzy and the Prosperity Doula.
And y'all are listening to Devin Scott, the upstate tone Devin Scott on the track. Shout out to him.
Complicated. It's complicated.
But you know what? God got that clarity for us. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank all the brothers and the sisters.